Verbal Kint once said,
"The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist."
Actually, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was getting Sam Bradford $129 million over his atrocious 9-year career. And though ridiculous contracts are commonplace in pretty much every pro league, the regular Joes don't always fare so well. Athletes put in a lot of time and work into turning pro. Is the payoff worth the sweat? Today we're going to learn what the average career length and earnings are for each major sport, coming up right after this. Do you know what is a constant, no matter what your income? Wanting to get the best deal on tickets. To keep your funding of Bobby Bonilla Day to a minimum, you need SeatGeek. SeatGeek aggregates ticket prices from all over the web and gives them both a color-coded and numerical rating to let you know if you are getting the best deal out there. On top of that, they let you see the view from your seats before you even buy. Download the SeatGeek app from the link below and use my code FPV and get $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek! As always, we'll start with the 4 major North American sports leagues and work our way around the world. Most of this data comes from a USA Today report and other sources, and if you want to question the numbers, do so, and please, by all means, Google away, but make your own bid. The average NFL career is only 3.5 years. Considering the amount of work and risk that is involved, that seems like a low number. For players to be eligible for a pension, they must be on an NFL roster for 3 years. The average annual retirement benefit in 2014 was $43,000 a year. However, the players have fought to have that increased and be able to smoke weed in the offseason, which they can't do yet. Easily the lowest out of the 4 major leagues, the average NFL salary is about $2 million. So for the sweat, sacrifice, direct blows to the head, and getting yelled at by Tom Brady, the average NFL player will earn $7 million over their pro playing career and barely be eligible for a pension and likely have trouble walking. If you want to get your kid into a sport, the one to force on him is basketball. Better hope your offspring is freakishly tall, gifted athletically, and can place a round ball inside of a net. The average career length in the NBA is 4.8 years, and the league has the most generous pension plan in all of professional sports, requiring 3 years of service for $56K a year, which they plan on increasing. So Greg Oden, coupled with his Social Security pay he's already earning, should be fine. And for 11 years of service, the max NBA pension is $195,000 a year. You can't tell me the GOAT didn't earn every cent of that. The average annual salary is $6.2 million, and you can thank the soft cap and Timothy Mozgov for that. On average, an NBA player will earn close to $30 million over their career. Man, it must be nice to be tall. Another sport as grueling and as risky as football, the yield for the donation of your teeth and blood to the hockey gods isn't that high. The average career length in hockey is 5.5 years, with Jaromir Jagr single-handedly raising the mean. The NHL's pension plan is a little different from the other sports. Instead of qualifying seasons, you have to be active for 160 games before you are eligible, which is about 2 years worth of being healthy and dressed for game day. Though their pension starts earlier at age 45, the payout is only $45,000 a year. The average salary in the NHL is $2.9 million, with the highest paid players being Patty Kane and Jonathan Taves making $13.8 million each. Wait, it was Coach Q that got fired? All in, an NHL player will make $16 million over their career. That's like $1 million per 2. Baseball looks to be the least physically demanding, so it's no surprise it has the longest average career length of the 4 majors. What is surprising is that it's only a fraction longer than the NHL at 5.6 years. Not having to run was the primary reason I played baseball, and there's a lot less activity than sprinting up and down the court. Plus, you get to grab your balls and spit whenever you want. The average salary is not the highest either at about $4.52 million, though you see tremendous contracts for players like whatever the ankle breaker and eye black champion are going to get this offseason. The minimum salary drives the average down, as it is only $555K a year. So Pat Vendette does twice the work as Clayton Kershaw and only owns $500K. What an unfair world we live in. Still, over the course of his career, the average major leaguer will make $25 million. Damn, son. For the MLS, the career length is not bad at 3.2 years, but the average annual earnings for a player is only $372,000, and that is up significantly over the last 4 years, being helped by an influx of relics and washed-up Euroleaguers coming to football's retirement home. In 2009, the league minimum salary was $20K. That's poverty level income, and many players took side jobs. The league minimum is now $50K, and players will earn close to $1 million total over their MLS careers. The league has no pension, but they can defer some of their income to a 401K. Across the pond, you will find a much better earning situation, as the average top flight EPL player earns 2.6 million dick pounds.
Hi, I'm Dick Pound.
A year, which is $3.4 million in the US&A. The average career length is where EPL players benefit, as they last about 8 years. So you're looking at $27 million total for your life in the Premiership. There is no official pension, though some are privately funded. There has never been a work stoppage or strike in the EPL. Well, would you look at that? Two sides can agree on making a shit ton of money. Real quick, La Liga, though they have the highest paid footballer in the world, average salary is about $2 million US per year. Now for the saddest of things, the average WNBA salary is $71,000 a year, and the maximum salary they can earn is $110K. Career length is about 3 years. Seriously, mid-level marketing managers make more than these women do. And kids at a lemonade stand make more than the league does from a profit standpoint. Winston Churchill said golf is a good way to spoil a walk, but it's a hella easy way to make money in terms of physical exertion. But getting on tour and staying there is difficult, as the average player keeps their card for about 3.5 years, and with different ways to make money as a golfer, the top 250 PGA pros should earn about $700K a year just from golf. That's only tour winnings. Sponsorships from Perkins don't count. What's interesting about golf is that the players are at risk for not getting paid, as they shell out all the travel costs to get to an event, and if they miss the cut, they don't get a check. Plus, they have to listen to some guy yell, "Get in the hole," after they rip a drive into the gallery. Yeah, NASCAR has a wildly varied pay scale, which greatly depends on how good a driver is. Most guys behind the wheel earn a base salary of about $40K, but that's just for driving around the track. If you're good and win, you can garner prize money and get endorsements, with the highest paid earners making $25 million plus. And if they have time, they can drive for Uber on the side. A study by Appalachian State showed that the average NASCAR career is about 4 years, almost 6 if your daddy drove. And now for a quick montage of other pro sports and their average earnings and career lengths, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Mama.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you love football and are still angry at the fact that Sam Bradford has made $129 million in his career, please check out my buddy Brandon Perna's channel, That's Good Sports. Probably the funniest guy on YouTube you have never heard of, because this man deserves 100K subs. Make it happen. Go sub to him. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to the end of this video.
Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. Breaking news, Perna, and the news that was breaking several hours ago was that Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown was cited, given a ticket for driving over 100 miles an hour in a 45 mph zone. And that is per Next Gen Stats. Is there anything Next Gen Stats doesn't track?